Good evening. My name's Ram Silverman, and I'm the owner of Golden Tickets. And I want to first thank all 850 Extreme travel agents who are joining us tonight for taking the time out to join this webinar and learn a little bit more about the products that we sell. I'm both humbled and excited about the opportunities that lay ahead for all of us in making money. So thank you again for joining us. I have actually 4 objectives for tonight's presentation. First is going to be the review of the layout of the homepage, which you should be seeing on your screen, so that you should know where everything is located and you can quickly make searches for customers who you are looking for tickets for. Number 2 is learning how to use the functionality on the inventory listing page along with the interactive map. Third will be the information on the checkout screen and to properly enter all the information we're going to need to make sure it's a seamless transaction. And fourth is going to be the confirmation emails that you're going to get from us. And there are a number of them when you're actually ordering tickets, and we will review that as well. A couple of notes before we dive into the actual website. I want to make sure that everybody is actually using the correct website, which should be travelagents.goldentickets.com. And you're going to see, you should be on the correct website. You'll see it where it says travel agent site, 10% commission paid. You have been using, up until now, goldentickets.net site. We would prefer that you do not use that site anymore. Please do not go to that site. Please use this site. Some of you might have been using the goldentickets.com site, and if you were using that site, I'm going to ask a favor, and that is going to be to clear your cookies, and that will prevent, when you try to type in this particular site, from it reverting back to the goldentickets.com site, which it will do. So go ahead and clear your cookies. It doesn't have to be right this minute, but if you have used it, please, maybe at the end of the presentation, go ahead and clear the cookies. Go to travelagents.goldentickets.com. One thing that was brought to my attention by your main office was, and one thing I want to make sure that everybody's clear about, is that we do not actually sell amusement park tickets. We do sell sports tickets, concert tickets, and theater tickets for all teams, all major events, all major concerts, and all theater, not just in New York, but across the country and even in London. So those are the things that we sell. You don't have to email us about amusement park tickets, so we'd appreciate if you wouldn't be sending those to us. Next thing is that we're not, due to the just sheer number of people who are on this call, we are not going to open it up to a question and answer session. But what we are going to have you do, because people are going to have questions at the end of this presentation, is to send them to ram@goldentickets.com. I will look through those, maybe not necessarily tonight, but we will get back with you in the next day or so with the answer to your questions, depending on how many questions I actually wind up getting after this presentation tonight. Next is we do have another site, and we're not going to actually be talking about that this evening, and that is our package site where we do sell sports packages. That site, the site you're going to use for that is going to be travelagents.goldensports.com. Again, travelagents.goldensports.com, where we pay a 13% commission on land packages for sporting events. That's going to be really a whole nother webinar that we're going to be doing. Tonight we're just going to be sticking with the ticket site, where the majority of our business actually comes from selling tickets. So we're going to just go ahead and dive in to the site. And one of the things I get asked about a lot of times is people see all this inventory on our site. And at this point, we actually have probably over about $1.5 billion worth of inventory on the site. And I can tell you for a fact that I don't personally own all this inventory. So where does this inventory come from? We work actually with a network of other brokers, probably about 700 other brokers, where we aggregate the inventory that they have and we upload it to our site. So this inventory, some of the inventory, of course, on the site is actually Golden Ticket's actual inventory, but the majority of it, 99% of this inventory, is actually coming from other sources that we have, our network of brokers. It's a trusted source of brokers, and that's where the inventory comes from. I am going to talk a little bit more about that part of it, because when you get down to confirmations, and some people want to know sometimes, well, why does it take overnight to have tickets confirmed? I'm going to get a little bit more to that in the final stage of the presentation. So let's go ahead and dive right into the website. I'm going to start from the top left portion of the page, and you're going to see where it says sports tickets. And the first 4 links are for NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and hockey tickets for the NHL. And these links, believe it or not, are really a big portion of the business that we do. We sell a lot of tickets for all the major team sports. So whether you click on the NFL, you'll see a full list of all the NFL teams in alphabetical order, or the NBA teams, baseball teams, and hockey teams. You can see that they're all listed in alphabetical order. If you know your teams, or if you have somebody who's calling and you know that they're asking about the Anaheim Ducks and you know that's a hockey team, you can click on the NHL tickets and quickly go over to the Anaheim Ducks, and the schedule will come up. So there are other ways to get there without knowing all the teams. We're going to discuss that shortly. So those 4 links are very important. You will use them quite a bit. Below that is going to be the NCAA tickets. The 2 main links on this page are going to be for NCAA football tickets. If I click on that, you will see a list of all the major college teams and a link to their schedules that will lead you to the inventory. Now, since all the schedules are primarily over for the NCAA football, you won't see actually any inventory on these teams, but you will, if you look to the right, see all the bowl games. So if you were to click on, for example, the Rose Bowl, which is one of the semifinal games this year, you can get to that inventory very easily by looking at that column. So this column has a list of actually all the bowl games that are going on. So moving along, and we're not going to click on all of these links. I think you can get the gist of what we're trying to do, but you have the link for auto racing, for golf, tennis, horse racing, and so on. And those links are going to be, most people, I think, know if somebody's calling about the Kentucky Derby, for example, that's horse racing. You can click on the horse racing tab. You can see both the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby. You can click on that link, and you will see that we have Derby tickets and even some other things that are associated with the Derby, including a party that night, the night before, and hotel rooms, if you're looking for hotel rooms. So that is primarily the main sports list for this category. And below that, you're going to see featured events. And the featured events are primarily what we would call a major event, whether it be the Super Bowl, the Masters Golf Tournament, Kentucky Derby, the NCAA college football tickets, the Australian Open, Wimbledon, and so on. This is where this list is the list that we put together. We add things and we subtract things, but you can know that if you're looking for a major event, that primarily it will be listed in the featured events. I will get to, again, getting to where you can find other events if they're not listed here, and I'll get to that shortly. Below that is just a short list of some of the Formula One tickets that we carry. This is a short list of a few of the races around the world that we do handle tickets for. We don't really actually sell that many, but we like to know when people are going to our website that we don't just sell tickets here in the U.S. And so it's good to know that, all right, these guys actually carry tickets all around the world. Formula One outside of the U.S., believe it or not, is actually a very popular event to buy tickets to. So we like to show people that we actually handle tickets for those events. On the right-hand side, we're going to skip the middle of the page here for a second, but we're going to go over on the right-hand side. You're going to see a list of the hot tickets. This is, again, a list that we kind of put together. We change it as new concert tours are being announced and where we're getting quite a bit of business from as far as tickets that we're selling. You'll see this list actually change quite a bit Next month, you won't see any of the bowl games. We'll be changing some of the concerts. You might see the Super Bowl added here and some of the things that are upcoming in that month and the hot tickets. You don't really necessarily going to be using this particular section. This is more for just seeing sort of what is really popular that's going on. Below is the London events. And again, going back to sort of the Formula One deal, we wanted to let people know who are coming to our site that even though we really don't sell that many tickets for London events, we wanted to let people know who are coming to our site that we do sell this stuff. We do sell all of the shows, all the concerts that are at the O2 Arena in London. We do handle almost all the Premier League soccer teams. I don't have actually all of them listed here. I have 5 of the teams listed, and then we've listed a number of the concert tours, some of the bigger concerts at the O2 Arena. And again, this is really more for reminding you that, hey, you know, if you have somebody who's traveling outside the country, don't be afraid to say, hey, you know, if you need tickets for an O2 show, we have them here, and you can definitely show, you know, give them a list of the inventory that we have available. Moving below, we have what is called the search by city. Now, this particular area is actually very helpful. If you have a customer, for example, he's going to be in Chicago. So I'm going to click on the link for Chicago. And he's going to be in Chicago, let's say, near the end of this year. He's going to be there from December 26th. And he's going to be there for 3 days. And he'll be there, let's just call it till the 31st. And you can see when I click on that, it is now going to list the inventory for the shows that are going on during the time that your customer is actually in the city of Chicago. And it will give you a full list of everything from theater, some of the smaller shows, to big concerts and sporting events. Maybe the Bulls are playing. And this will give you a full list of everything that is going on. And you can see there's actually, if you look below here at December 27th, you can see there's actually 3 pages of results. And you can, again, you can filter through if you wanted to do a day at a time. You could do it that way. But this is a very helpful tool to get you to where you want to go. Be able to tell your customers, hey, we have all these events going on. Is anything of interest for you? Going back to the home page, a couple things at the top of the page I want to talk about. One is contacting us. So we have our main phone number here. We have an 800 number. We have our international number, which you can dial if you don't have the 800 number. Of course, you can call that number. And we have actually 3 emergency numbers listed here. And I really want to remind everybody that these numbers are really, truly for emergencies. This would be used, for example, when ordering tickets for the day of an event. And we do ask people to call us to make sure that everything is going to get confirmed. You might have an emergency, or maybe there's an issue with a customer who lost his tickets on the day of the show or the evening of the show, or maybe there's an issue at the box office. For whatever reason, there's an emergency. We encourage you to use those numbers for true emergencies. If it isn't an emergency, then you can either call us during regular business hours, or you can fill out this request form and send it over, and then first thing in the morning, we will actually, we'll send you an email back with whatever you were looking for or whatever the question you had about that. The only other really important thing that's going across the top of this bar is My Account. And when you click on My Account, actually I'm already logged into here. So you'll see that I already have the listing of, I can see a list of actually all the events that I've ordered, and it's going to be under complete order history. And I just did a couple of test orders. I'm using this as a test site. So you can see that I did a couple test orders for an Islanders game, Super Bowl tickets. And this is a great way for you to actually track the events that you have ordered tickets for. And when it comes to making sure you're getting the correct commission and you have a record of all of the, sales that you've done. So hopefully you're going to see a big long list here. When you click on that, we're, again, very excited that so many people are interested in what we're doing, and great way to make extra money. Those are the 2 things across the top that are important. I'm going to go back to the home page for a minute. Now, all the things I just talked about, clicking on the NFL links and the NBA links and all the other links, if you want, you can get rid of all those things I just talked about. You can use primarily this main search bar for looking for anything. And I'm just going to type in, for an example, the Chicago Bulls. You can see when I start typing in the word Chicago that it starts populating all the events that have the word Chicago in it. So you can see the Blackhawks, the Bulls, the Cubs, and so on. If I continue to type, you'll see that just the Chicago Bulls wind up in the pre-populated listing here. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see I have a list of all of the Bulls home games right here in front of me. Now, I could have got there by either clicking on the NBA and the Chicago Bulls, or I could have got there by just clicking in the Chicago Bulls, and again, it would have come up that way. This is primarily what most people, when you get on our site, somebody's asking you about, I'm looking for Beyonce tickets, or I'm looking for a particular team. You can start typing this in the search bar and just use that method for getting to the event that you want. So for those of you who feel more comfortable, if you're with an NFL team and you know all the teams, great, you can go this way. But just know that really the quickest, easiest way to go is by using the main search bar. Very important. So a lot of the stuff might not be so relevant now that I showed you what's going on here, but we encourage everybody to use the links as you feel most comfortable with. Now, I want to kind of skip down to the bottom right-hand corner of the page. You can see right now I have a tab that says leave a message. Now, during regular business hours, I think it will say begin a chat. And we encourage you, if you are on the site during the day and you don't have time to call, or you don't want to call, but you want to have a quick question to something you're looking at or anything you're doing on the site, please go ahead and start a chat. Somebody in my office will be here to answer the chat. We'll give you the information best we can. And then at the end of the day, we actually will stop taking the chats. You'll see leave a message here at the bottom of the screen, and it will allow you to go ahead and click on it, put in your name and email address, the subject, and the message that you're wanting to leave. And again, we will get back with you the next morning. So whether you email me directly, which is ram@goldentickets.com, or if you want to send a message via this method, we're going to get the message, and we are very good about responding to all questions. So the rest of the site, before we move on to the inventory page, really consists of a list of sports tickets, concert tickets, and theater tickets. This is a list of some of the more popular events that are going on, and this is actually generated by people who are clicking on the site, and some of the most popular searches. This website actually works based on, or this portion of these three columns work on what are people clicking on, and it will be changing as, during the course of the week. You'll see different events listed and so on. This is primarily just for looks. You really don't necessarily need it. You want to see what some of the more popular things that are going on, I would encourage you still to take a look at the list if you want to. Most people, though, do know when they're calling you for event tickets, they already know what they're looking for. So if, again, you say, well, they're looking for Chicago Bulls tickets, you can go here, type in the Bulls, or just click on the Bulls, and there is a list of all the home games. Now, we do have a filter on each of these pages that if you were looking, if it's a team sport such as the NFL and the NBA and baseball, you can click on either away games or home and away, where it will give you a list of all the games, home and away. Most people don't really use that, but it's there as a feature if they want to use it. Primarily, the default is going to be the home games, because that's primarily what people are looking for when they're looking for tickets. So I hope that's been a fairly good explanation of the homepage. And what we're going to do, most importantly, is learning how to sort through the inventory once we get to the inventory page. So let's pick a game. I'm going to stick with the Bulls since we're already on this page. And we're going to pick a January 1st, New Year's Day game. And when I click on this, this is going to be the same screen you're going to see no matter pretty much what you click on. So you're going to see on the left-hand side a list of all of the inventory that we have for that game. And it's extensive, and there's a big selection and choice that you can offer your customers. It is defaulted to show in prices low to high. I want to let you know that any of these things, any of the categories that are listed under this yellow bar are actually sortable. So if you wanted to do prices high to low, you could sort that way, or again, low to high. You can sort by quantity. If you have somebody who's looking just for the pairs, you could do that. If you have somebody who's specifically looking for example, like a row 1 ticket, you can sort through and just see all the front row tickets, whether they be in the upper deck or the 200 level or the 100 level. So there is a lot of sortability using this inventory. I encourage you again to don't be afraid to just log in here, go to an event, play around in here, see what it can and cannot do. And again, you can sort by section. We'll sort by section. I'm going to go back to where it defaulted to, which is the price. That's usually the most important thing. People a lot of times are just saying, I want the least expensive seats. So here would be a list of the least expensive seats for a particular event. Above here, you actually will see a price range slide, which will allow you, if you have a customer who's looking for tickets in a particular price range, you can actually use the slide to say, if he's looking for tickets, he's willing to pay, say, between $200 and $300. You can see now that all of the listings below are between $200 and $300. To be honest with you, I don't really use that a whole lot. Primarily, people are looking for a particular area, and after they find the area they're looking for, then they'll check the price and see, okay, I see the price variance, and I'll buy the tickets according to that. But it is a good feature to know that you can use it if you have somebody who has a price range that they're looking for. Next to that is a little icon. It has a little red mark on it. Very important that you know what these are. These are what's called e-tickets or electronic tickets. I think probably most people by now know what they are, but if you don't, it's basically a ticket that gets sent to you electronically after you order it. So all of the tickets that are marked as e-tickets, you can look in the column that says e-tickets. You can scroll down. You can see that not every listing is an e-ticket, and if it's not marked as an e-ticket, it is actually a hard ticket. And the hard tickets cannot be emailed, but they would actually have to be FedExed out to. So good to know that nowadays I would say maybe 85% to 90% of all tickets are actually e-tickets, and it's the cheapest way to get the tickets to the customer. We charge $5 for an e-ticket. The FedEx charges, on the other hand, range from about $25 to $35 for overnight shipping. So when looking for tickets for a customer, always good to kind of check the e-tickets and see that, hey, I can get these emailed over to you. It's very quick and easy to download and print the tickets, and a great way to do it. The last thing I'm going to show you up here before we move on to the interactive map is going to be about the quantities. And the quantities, this is actually very helpful. Instead of trying to sort through all the inventory, let's say, for example, you have a customer and he has a group, there's 3 people are going to be going. I can actually click on 3, and all of the listings that come up below are actually divisible by 3, or I can buy 3 off of a group of 12. You can't buy 3 off of a group of 4. So these are giving you a selection of all the tickets that you would have an option to buy if your customer was looking for a group of 3. So good to know the quantity. So moving on to the right-hand side of the page, and this tool is great, and I want everybody, again, to feel comfortable using it. And I'm going to just give a few examples first how to use it. So let's say you have a customer, he calls you up and he says, I'm looking for some of the best seats. I'm going to be going to this Bulls game January 1st. I want center court seats for this game. What can you offer me? You can go to this event. You can click on all four of the center sections, so 101 and 122. You can click on 111 and 112, and you can see to the left-hand side now all of the inventory that in those sections is going to be populated on the left-hand side of the page. It will also sort out still according to the prices. And since these tickets are coming from different vendors and different brokers, it's really up to the broker to decide what he's trying to get for those tickets. So a lot of times you might actually wind up seeing better tickets for a cheaper price than some worse tickets for a more expensive price. So it's kind of up to you to get in there, take a look around, see what the best deal you can give to your customer to say, hey, you know what, in this case, I can get you 12 rows up in section 101, row 12 for $315 a ticket, and you can quote those out. And again, you can look through the whole list of all the inventory. There's quite a bit of tickets in those center sections, and that's one of the ways you can use it. Now, right above the diagram is a reset map link, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and once I do it, it's going to erase the highlighted sections I was on, and it's going to default back to all the listings. So a good way to do is just clear your screen. That's how we can do that. Now, let's say for an example, I have a customer who says, well, I'm looking for lower sidelines. I want lower level sidelines. Well, I could click on actually all 8 of these sections that are between the baskets, one way to see all the inventory, or I can go down below the map for the group seating. And if I click on this square that says lower level sidelines, you will see that all highlight all at one time instead of me going in there to click on each individual section. And again, if you look to the left, you'll see all the tickets in all 8 of those sections listed over there. Now, if I wanted to, I could, again, going backwards, unclick the sections that are listed. So if I wanted to go back to just those 4 middle sections again, I can do that by clicking on the event again. So I'm going to go back to resetting the map. A lot of times we have customers who say, look, you know, I'm just looking for the least expensive seats in the upper level. I don't want to sit behind the basket. Maybe I'll take upper corners. And so I can very quickly, by just clicking on one button that says upper level corners with the yellow square next to it, I can click on that button, and now all 4 sections and all 4 of the corners are going to come up. And you can just look over next door. You can see what the prices are starting at $60. You can see all the ones that are e-tickets, and you can quote them out. Maybe the guy says, you know what, I really only want to sit on the bull side, or I want to sit on the 301 side of the court. Well, then at that point, you can just unclick the other yellow sections, and at that point, we'll give you just the seats that are on that one side. The site has a lot of functionality. The maps are great. I mean, we use them ourselves for pricing, looking for our own customers, and just taking a little bit of time to see the functionality of what you can and cannot do with the maps is, you know, take a little time to do it, and you're going to feel very comfortable using it. Now, there's a little plus sign. If you want the map to be a little bit bigger, if you're having a hard time reading it, you can make it smaller. But primarily, again, you have group seating down below in the colored squares, individual seating when you click on it here. All right, that's going to kind of wrap up the portion about the inventory. Again, if you have questions, feel free to email those over. I hope that clears up anything you need to know about using the map. And we're going to move on now to actually ordering some tickets. Now, I'm going to just take the first listing up here, section 331, row 13. We'll just go ahead and buy a pair. I can buy 2 or 4 from this particular listing. And I see that they're e-tickets, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the buy button. Now, since I've already logged in here, the travel agent portion of this, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and reboot to get back in here because I want to show you the travel agent portion of this. I thought it was already up here, so I apologize for that. It'll just take me a second here to do that. All right, we should be good to go here. Give me just a second. All right, let's go to there again. We'll go to the Bulls game. Go to that January 1st game. You can see it's very quick. You can navigate through the system very quickly. I'm going to go to the buy button. You should see now at the top of the page, you're going to see pre-populated email address. Since I'm already, my system with Chrome automatically keeps that information up there. I would just have to click on the login to go ahead, and it will already have my travel agent information so that you don't have to keep adding this at the bottom of the screen, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So the first thing you're going to do when you get to this page is you're going to double check to make sure that you're getting what your customer wanted. So it's giving you the teams that are playing, it's giving you the date of the game, price of the tickets, section, quantity, and it's giving you the subtotal. So the one thing it's not giving you right now is the shipping total. So we're going to look at the second field in the shipping area, and you're going to say select delivery option. So this should have come up with an e-ticket. Yeah, so this was an e-ticket with the e-ticket icon. I'm going to go ahead and click on that e-ticket, and you're going to see that a $5 shipping came up for that. Now, normally, and I will check into this, if you select an e-ticket, it should actually default so that the only option that you actually have is going to be this e-ticket option. I will double check and see what was up with that particular listing, but you're going to just know that if you order an e-ticket, that this is going to be what you're going to be seeing. You'll click on it. You'll see the price is actually populated in the shipping area. So the total for this sale is going to be $128.60. And there is a service charge. You'll see a $3.60 service charge. We do charge a 3% credit card fee that we do pass on to the customer. It's not been an issue with us, so that is in there, and then the shipping cost. On the shipping portion of this, the only other thing that you might need, and this would only be in the cases if you were FedExing something out, if you had a special instruction, for example, if you were sending them out to a customer and you wanted to have them leave the tickets at the front door or with a neighbor next door or whatever the case may be, is the special instruction can go in the shipping portion part of this field. We don't, again, get a whole lot of requests for that, but just so you know what that's for. We're not going to be using any gift cards or any promo codes for the travel agent, so you can just skip over that. Moving along to the billing address. That is this section, very important that we get this part right. This is the billing address for the credit card that you're using. So I know from all my years of experience that most travel agents are actually using their customers' credit cards to order tickets. Please make sure that you have all their information in here correct, first name, last name. Most important, though, is going to be the street address and the zip code. Without putting the correct street address and zip code in our system, you'll find out when you try to confirm this order that it's going to tell you that the billing address does not match what's on file. So please make sure when you're actually talking to your own customer to make sure that when he's giving you that information, to make sure he's giving you the correct billing address. This is probably about 90% of the things I actually get emails on, especially like after hours. Well, the credit card's not going through. I'm having an issue. And typically it has to revolve around not actually having the correct street address and zip code. So please make sure that that is getting filled out correctly. So going through the rest of the billing information, as I said, city, state, zip code, daytime phone number for the customer. And that's really about it. You don't have to put an email address for the customer in here because the e-tickets that we send out are actually going to be sent to you, and then you can either print them out and send them to your customer, or you can just forward the link on to your customer and they can print out the tickets themselves. So you're going to fill out this billing address section. You'll put in their credit card information, pretty straightforward here. And then lastly, and most importantly, is going to be your information. So, of course, it will be Extreme Travel Agents will be the name of the agency. Very important that you have your IATA number and ID. Your individual agent ID will go here. First name, last name, address, pretty standard stuff. You're going to just go ahead and fill it out. Make sure you have the correct email address. Can't stress that enough. And lastly, when you're ordering for the first time, you're actually going to be creating a password. And again, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, because after you order, when you get to the checkout page moving forward, you're actually going to be able to log in by clicking on the email and your password. It will no longer, as I showed you at the beginning, it won't actually have that travel agent account information to even put in there. So the account will be recognized by the email and password that you're putting in. So pretty straightforward, but all very important. One thing I kind of also want to mention is, per your training in with Extreme Travel, please make sure that you have the document, the credit card approval form signed from your customer before you order tickets. Very important that you have that on file to make sure, in case that there's a potential chargeback, you'll have their signature on file, and we should be good to go. Now, since this site is live and all the is live inventory, I'm actually not going to click on the review order link. But what's going to happen, if I click on the review order link, what's going to pop up is something very similar to what we looked at here. It will just review the event that you're going to, the shipping address, and the billing address, and that's about it. So it's going to be pretty much the same information. It's one last time before you place the order to edit the order. Maybe you were changing a shipping address or so on, and you can edit in that sheet or on that page. And then really, other than that, you're going to click on the confirm button, and it's going to send over the order to us. Now, before I go on to the confirmations, a couple things. I really actually want to take you again through a FedEx order where you're actually selecting from your choices of FedEx. I'll do that very quickly. We'll just go back to the same game we were on. Pick the Bulls. January. Well, that's the 30th. All right, we'll go with the 30th. I'll go ahead and find some tickets that are not marked e-tickets. So I have a pair in 314.11 at $85 a piece. I'm going to go ahead and select those. And when you get down to the shipping, you will not actually see an e-ticket option for that. And you're going to see 4 different choices over here. Primarily, the cheapest one and the one that's most used is a FedEx 2-day domestic, and that's $25. We have an overnight service for an afternoon delivery for $30, $35 for overnight morning delivery, and then if the package had to be sent out for a Saturday delivery, it would be $45. So when you're talking to your customer, make sure that he knows, hey, if they're hard tickets, and a lot of events are all hard tickets, so you might not have a choice of the e-tickets. Let your customer know, hey, do you have to have them there tomorrow? If you don't, and I can send them out 2-day, the charge for that is only going to be $25. So again, I would pick the $25. You can see that the price populated in the shipping area here, service charge is here, and then the total is here. Very straightforward. We think it's very user-friendly, this site. You can see even when I was going through to order these Bulls tickets, it's very quick to get from the home page to the event that I'm looking for to actually order the tickets. So after you place, we're getting into sort of the final phase, and that's going to be what are you getting from us when you actually order the tickets. So after you click on that last confirm button, you're actually going to be getting two emails simultaneously of each other. The first one, I'm sorry about this. I had to reboot, and bear with me 1 second. So sorry. I do want to show you all this, and just take me a moment. All right, so the first one you're going to get is something that says, your order has been received. So you can see that it says, thank you for your order. Your purchase has been received, and you will receive another email shortly when your tickets have been confirmed. But the other email that you're going to get at the same time that you're getting that one is going to be this particular email. And this one is for a signature from you that we're going to require when you're ordering tickets. So you're going to get these two emails at the exact same time. When you click on Sign Order Request, you'll see that it's an electronic signature. You'll put your name and your email address, and you're going to go down and electronically with your mouse, you're going to go ahead and sign it, and you're going to send it over to us. So that's going to be the two that you're going to get at the same time. When the tickets have been actually confirmed, and let's talk about the confirmation of the tickets. As I mentioned to you, the way this works is that the order comes through our site. The order gets pushed on to the broker who actually owns the tickets. They'll get an email from us at the exact time that you order the ticket that says, please confirm these tickets as soon as you can. Now, typically, if it's during the day, you will actually wind up, if they are e-tickets or even if they're not e-tickets, you'll wind up usually getting this confirmation back. I would say usually within 30 minutes is realistic to be able to get a confirmation back that the tickets have actually been ordered. If, on the other hand, you're ordering tickets, let's say at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evening, most brokers are not 24/7 businesses where we're here all the time and confirm tickets all the time, although a lot of brokers do confirm orders in the evening. But I would say that it's safe to assume that a lot of these orders that are ordered in the evening will not actually get confirmed till the next day. So, but this is the order. Once the tickets have been confirmed, you'll see that your order has been confirmed. You got a big green check mark. You know that the order is done. Now, when it comes back to, circling back a little bit to the e-tickets for a second, if you order an e-ticket, it doesn't necessarily mean that that ticket is going to be emailable exactly at the time that the order is confirmed. There are a number of teams in a couple of the leagues that actually hold back the tickets from allowing season ticket holders to actually email them out of their account. So even though the tickets are out to the season ticket holders, the physical tickets, they can't actually transfer electronic tickets until closer to the game. Now, I would just say that that would be in less than probably 5% of the circumstances when you're ordering e-tickets, maybe even less than that. Primarily when you're ordering e-tickets, those e-tickets you're going to wind up getting the last email from us that is going to be with the e-tickets. And I'm going to show you that next. And this is what it looks like. From Golden Tickets, it says, your e-tickets are available for download. Thank you again for your order. And you can either forward this on to your customer with this link, and all he needs to do is actually click on the link and download the tickets. He's going to need to download the tickets and print them out. Do not, I just actually had this happen recently. Please make sure they don't try to take the email that we just sent to the box office to show them at the gate, oh, I bought these from Golden Tickets. Can I just show you this? The tickets actually have to be printed out. They'll get scanned at the gate like all other e-tickets. And so that's really important because I hate to have somebody get to the event and realize, oh, man, I forgot to print these out and I should have printed them out. And that is primarily what you're going to be getting from us. And in the case where you have ordered tickets and you're ordering tickets that are being FedExed out, you'll actually get an email from us, somebody in the office to let you know that approximately when the tickets will be shipped out, so when you know when to expect the tickets to come to either your customer, if we're shipping them directly to the customer. Some agents want the tickets sent directly to them for them to give to their customer. We leave that up to you when you're filling in the shipping address. That's pretty much for tonight. Gonna wrap up the things that I wanted to talk about. I hope it was informative. I'm looking forward to seeing questions that you have and answering them as soon as I can. And feel free to just email me with anything, Ram at Golden Tickets. I'm available all the time for answering these things. And I just again want to thank all the agents for joining us. It's a real good opportunity to make money for our company, to make money for you, very easy to upsell to customers that you're talking to, and I hope you'll use the site for every customer. So thank you again for taking the time tonight, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.